Votes for Quickies. Election 2024 is coming up, and the Donald Trump is Hitler rhetoric has been cranked up to 11. And the thing is, it's just stopped working. Used to be there were a couple of concepts on the internet. Godwin's law said that the longer a discussion goes on, the probability of someone being compared to Hitler approaches 1. Then there was argumentum ad hitlerum, the resort of calling your opponent Hitler when you had no further response. It was generally agreed as an internet rule that whoever resorted to calling someone Hitler had lost the argument. All of that was stopped in its tracks in 2015 when Donald Trump started leading in the polls, and he instantly went from a media darling to their worst nightmare. As soon as it looked like he actually could beat their beloved establishment candidates, they had to start saying he was literally Hitler. Now, here we are, 9 years later, and people are just tired of it. Calling him Hitler just isn't working anymore. In fact, it implicitly gives him extra credibility he probably doesn't deserve. It seems there was more wisdom to those earlier internet credos than anyone realized. If you resorted to calling your opposition Hitler, not only will you have lost the intellectual argument, if you keep at it, it'll lose any impact you wanted it to have to begin with, and even start to backfire. Because you'll go from riling people up to just wearing them down. As I make this quickie, it still isn't the 2024 election, so I don't know who's going to win. But undecided voters are saying that this rhetoric is actually pushing them to vote Trump. Hitler fatigue is a good term for it. People are just tired of it. It's draining to keep hearing this day in and day out. So a lot of people are early voting for Trump just to be done with it. In fact, I wouldn't be at all surprised if a lot of them are actually writing in Hitler. And they just don't seem to realize it, so they keep it up, just making things worse for them and their candidate. So maybe it's time to bring back this old internet wisdom. Call out Godwin's law when you see it, and chide people for resorting to argumentum ad hitlerum. Because all it truly means is that, intellectually, by feeling they have to resort to this comparison, they have, in fact, lost the argument. And more than that, they'll just be pushing people away from their positions, and they'll have their own credibility destroyed. And they'll probably deserve to.